Hey teachers, day 9, you're almost there. Today's activities are around the actual Civil War itself. So you have your social emotional learning connection there for Thursday. Then there's an overview of the Civil War era with the guiding question, why was the Union able to beat the Confederacy in the Civil War? So on the next slide, you'll just see a simple map so the kids kind of understand, well, what is the Union? What is the Confederacy? They also have the border states as well. There's a couple of questions to get kids to understand, well, were all Union states free, so that they understand that there are these border states that decided to stay with the Union while still having slavery. And then for them to take a look at the capital cities of each and just to notice that they're super close together, which makes this war even more complicated, right? Especially for Lincoln as president. So on the next slide, working on process skills, just kind of getting them to see the resources of the North versus the South. Sometimes we look at advantages, disadvantages, right? And hopefully kids coming to that conclusion or that inference that the war should have been quickly over, right? The North, it kind of looks like they're dominating all these. But as we know, the war was not over quickly. So the next thing kids will do before diving into the actual war is just to hook into what role is most important during the war. Some of you might already use this activity during virtual learning this spring. That's kind of their hook into the people of the Civil War. So there's a link right here that will take them to the Quizlet. It's super short, just goes over the significant people that are listed in the TEKS for Civil War. So we suggest that kids do the learn and the match in order to kind of get an overview of those people. Now we're going to have them apply what they learned. They're going to read these quotes. These are primary sources. The first from Jefferson Davis, the second from Lincoln. Okay, this is actually from their inaugural addresses. So we want them to type their names there. Before kids go to the actual events of the war, they have a little brain break. And this should look very familiar, right? This events of the Civil War storyboard. So what we're asking for kids to do is to either watch the videos or there's an article here if it works better for them to read about it. For each of the events on here. And this is shortened from what they would originally do during the regular school year. So there's a 6-word summary example right here for Lincoln's election, which they learned about yesterday. So then they would do that same process for these events. Now, the accommodated version is a bit different here. You might decide you want to do this for more than just kiddos that need accommodations. Completely up to you. But it does have a very similar structure, except you'll notice the next slide has descriptions, a letter, and then a picture to help kids visualize it along with the video. So what kids would do here is match each description to the correct event on the previous slide. Okay, so if Fort Sumter's description B, for example, they would just type a B there and so forth. So what kids are going to do with what they've learned is then answer these questions, or actually answer one of the questions of their choice. They can either answer it directly on the slide, or maybe you pose this as a discussion question on Google Classroom so that the kids can meaningfully interact and have conversation. Whatever you choose to do, make sure that you modify the instructions to make sense for your assignment. The last slide is just that checklist, making sure the kids have completed everything before they submit these slides into Google Classroom. You are almost there. Just really encourage your kids these last couple of days because we know that you're tired, they're getting tired too. Thank you so much for everything you do and have a great day.